Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Still dealing with a few clouds out there this morning, and temperatures are rising into the 60s, but expecting a nice day ahead today with mainly dry conditions, and expecting some nice and quiet weather as we move through most of the week this week, and we'll see some active weather moving into the area as we get into the weekend. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have a weak front off to the west, expecting that to push through the area as we go over the next 24 hours, mainly through the overnight hours is when that boundary will be passing the local area. Mainly just going to bring some additional cloud cover. We'll have a very low end chance of seeing maybe a light sprinkle or shower push through with that boundary. If we do see that, likely be very light and brief. And then as that boundary pushes through, we'll see high pressure in behind that, keeping those quiet and seasonable temperatures and conditions as we go through the remainder of the week. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, we have some west-southwesterly winds closer to the surface, around 10 to 15 knots, increasing up to 40 to 50 knots as we get up in the mid and upper levels, seeing winds out of the west-southwest to more westerly as we get in the upper levels. That peak wind at 48 knots at 20,000 feet. Seeing that freezing level today at 7,500 feet. Looking at the current visible satellite, we can see just a few clouds to continue to stream through the area, slightly less coverage than what we were seeing earlier, but still expecting those clouds to stick around as we go through the day, kind of streaming through the area. And overall, again, seasonable and a fairly nice day ahead. If we look at the short-term high-res model to see how things play out again as we go through the day, expecting mainly dry conditions. And then going into the evening hours, we'll start to see this little area of reflectivity and cloud cover that's associated with that weak boundary and upper level disturbance pushing through. Again, could see a very slight chance of maybe a sprinkle or light shower. Won't amount to much, it'd be too impactful, but we will see some additional cloud cover. Then that should start to push out of the area as we get into the start of the day on Wednesday. Expecting another mainly dry day on Wednesday. We will see some partly cloudy conditions with some increased high clouds as we'll start to see an area of low pressure coming up the coast and will eject off the southeastern coast and move towards the east. So not expecting any precip from that, but will bring us some cloud cover. And as that moves away, if we zoom out here on the European model, as it moves away off to the east, we'll see a decrease in some of that cloud cover with a pretty nice and mostly sunny day on the day Thursday, and expecting continued dry conditions as we go through much of Friday and then going into the overnight. And into Saturday, we start to see this area of low pressure tracking across the northern part of the country, and looks like we'll see a secondary area of low pressure developing over the local region as we go into the weekend on Saturday. We'll note that the European Canadian models have this pushing through a little bit quicker, but at this time looks like we'll have a good chance of seeing some showers push through the area on Saturday as a fairly strong boundary pushes through with this area of low pressure. And we should see that continue to push through and eject off to the east with some breezy conditions behind that. We'll see that rain chances start to wrap up with just a lingering chance early on Sunday, and then things likely drying out with some cooler air coming in to the region for the beginning of next week. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions over the next 24 hours. We'll see temperatures climbing up into the low 70s, high around 72 this afternoon. See winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 knots, peaking up to around 15 knots for the afternoon hours. As we go into the evening hours, we'll see winds weakening, becoming more subtly to west-southwesterly for the early morning of Wednesday. Again, expecting that increase in clouds, mainly around 5,000 to 8,000 feet as we get through the overnight hours. Chance of maybe some patchy mist, and again, that very slight chance of maybe a light sprinkle pushing through the area. We'll see those temperatures dropping down to around 58 degrees for our Wednesday morning. Tides are running normal at the moment. Next couple days, mainly partly cloudy Wednesday into Wednesday evening with seasonable conditions, a high around 73 on Wednesday, low of 56 as we go into the evening hours. Thursday, expecting mostly sunny conditions with a high around 75, but overall green conditions over the next couple of days for our weather risk. And as we look at the extended forecast here, see some partly cloudy and slightly breezy conditions on Friday, but expecting dry with a low around 57 degrees and a high around 74. And then going into the weekends, we'll start to see some Disturbed weather moved through the area, looking at about a 60% chance at this time. Would not be surprised to see those increasing as increasing confidence comes as we approach this event. But low around 61 for today, Saturday, and a high around 73. And then we start to see some cooler air behind the front as it pushes through, staying mostly cloudy with some breezy conditions on Sunday. High just around 68 degrees with a low around 57. Then another cool day on Monday with mostly to partly cloudy conditions. That high just around 63, and then the low around 52. Well, that will wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.